Train the muscles, not the joints.
Any monsters out here? Is any monsters? I'm not filming out here. Yeah, I know you're quiet. I'm not falling for that this time. Are you ready for my patented intimidation technique? I didn't think so. Gets them every time.
Motion.
And today I'm going to talk a little bit about squatting. And somebody just yesterday made a comment about squats and how they cannot squat because their back or their lower back rounds whenever they start to squat, right? So a lot of times what people will assume is that they have hamstring tightness or hip tightness in some shape or form, or glute tightness or whatever, and then they'll assume that that's why their lower back is rounding. And sometimes they're right. If you are not stretching your hamstrings, if you're not actively trying to pursue some sort of flexibility regime, right? If you have been sitting in an office chair most of your life and you have not squatted with your feet flat on the ground, then it only stands to reason that some of the muscles in your hamstrings and in your hips and stuff may be tight. That's just kind of normal, right? So there is a combination of stretching and warming up and getting the body used to activating muscles under the squat load. There is a certain period of time that sometimes it takes in order to get established in knowing how to do the squatting movement. But the one thing that I find a lot of people overlook is dorsiflexion. So what dorsiflexion is how much you can raise your foot off the ground, your toe, right? So say you raise the ball of your foot off the ground towards your shin while keeping the heel on the ground. Like, how much of that do you have? And a lot of times when people have no dorsiflexion, because their ankle joint is somehow fused to the ankle or it's fallen off the track, what happens is that it limits the movement that your knee can do. So your knee can't travel forward at all when you squat. So therefore you are stuck with the knees in a certain position. They cannot come forward, so you have to bend over twice as much in order to get the same movement. So one thing you can do, which a lot of people don't know, and this is one thing to check, I'm not saying it's the only thing, but this is one thing to check, is your dorsiflexion. And if you go to a chiropractor, they can actually do a joint mobility manipulation, which basically just aligns the ankle back in the groove. And if your ankle is out of place to begin with, you should get an extra 10 to 20 degrees more movement in the ankle joint, and that will affect your squatting like crazy. Like, your squatting will be like night and day. So if you've had a history of ankle injuries or rolling an ankle, or you twisted your ankle several times, say you're playing basketball or soccer or whatever, and then you're noticing that your squat is affected, this would be the one thing that you really want to look at. If you go to a chiropractor, they can just adjust it. It's just a real simple adjustment. My brother's done it on me lots of times. And you'd be surprised how much result you can get from this, and it'll totally change your leg training world altogether. So yeah, this is just a quick tip I wanted to give you because it's something that is not common knowledge. And yeah, check it out, man. If you do have a problem squatting, this might be the magic bullet for you.
Mountain.
And if you guys are interested in this type of information, I share a lot more information on natural Gallant bodybuilding on the Patreon podcast. I'll see you on Patreon.
Mountain.
The link is in the description, okay? It's right down there. Just go check it out.